and Browning, some of those guys. Coop, can you speak on just how important it is to get them back for the stretch run, and are you optimistic you might get some of those guys back?
Yeah, certainly optimistic to get those guys back. It'll be good to get them back, and we were overly cautious probably a little bit last week, but yeah, looking forward to have those guys ready.
And especially 10 games into a season, how do you feel about the overall health of your team and all the blowouts? How has that helped that situation for you?
Well, I think we're fresh. I think we're healthy and fresh at this point of the year, which is great.
Front row middle, Joey.
Ryan, this is kind of maybe the way the schedule worked out, kind of different, where you have Penn State, Michigan back to back. If you had like a magic marker and could devise the Big Ten schedule, would you rather play Penn State in October instead of so close to Michigan, or are you fine with it?
Again, I think it's all computer generated, so it doesn't really matter. And like I told the guys, we don't make the schedule, and all we do is we're going to just take 1 week at a time and worry about the things we can control.
And Sean Clifford's been their quarterback. Obviously, this will be your first time playing him after playing Trace McSorley for all those years. What do you think makes him unique as a passer?
I don't know what makes him unique as a passer. I think as a quarterback, he has a good combination of escapabilities, good spatial awareness. He can get himself out of trouble, accurate throwing the ball. You can tell he's competitive and tough and well prepared and a good leader.
Front row left, Mitch.
Ryan, Justin was a few weeks ago was talking about his schedule and how all of his classes are online, and I'm wondering how much are you aware of whether the players have online classes, are going to class, have to go to class on a certain time, and do you prefer that online situation because it gives them more flexibility for football?
Yeah, we're aware of everything. I mean, we make sure we know every week we go through on a Thursday meeting and go through every single class for every single guy on our team at length. That's a long meeting. We make sure we're up to the minute on what's going on. So for sure we know everything that's going on. And I think the online classes bring some benefits to the table for sure. And it's kind of different than the way we all grew up. Very not face to face, but it gives those guys some more flexibility. And so. I think a good mixture of the input in person and then also online classes is good.
Second row right, Kyle.
What are some of the under the radar things that Justin has improved on in his passing game this season, other than just simply throwing the ball?
I mean, I think it's all the above. I think every week he gets a little better in each area. So it goes all the way from in the run game, identifying where he's going to go with the ball, because you have to make a decision on just about every run game, every play in the run game. And in passing, it's protections, it's identifying coverage, it's going through protections, it's understanding down and distance, throwing it away, anticipation, all the above.
Were you on the scout team at all in re-entry?
Yeah.
Just, I guess, kind of speak to how difficult that job is, and are there some, I don't know, 1 or 2 guys that kind of shine every week on the scout team here this year?
There's a lot of guys. We give the Scout Team Player of the Week award. Actually 4 guys each week, 2 on offense, 2 on defense, 1 skill, 1 line. And those guys are just as important as everybody else. The look is so critically important. There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys who started off on the scout team that are playing on special teams or playing right now. And that's a great opportunity every day to go against really good players and to get better.
Far left, Lori.
Coach, how much of you wants to see your players absorb and enjoy the pageantry of this weekend, and specifically senior day on Saturday, and how much of you would prefer that they be in a hermetically sealed bubble where all they're focused on is what they have to do their 111?
Yeah, I think it's easy to say enjoy the experience and say that. I think it's harder to do, but we will talk about that, and we talk about that each week. You got to enjoy it because time waits for nobody, and you have to grab onto this thing and hold on as tight as you can because this is a special opportunity for all of us, and we have to make sure we understand that. And I think our guys do understand that. I think that they have appreciated each other and the moments, but in big games like this, you're just so focused on what's going on. Sometimes it's hard to really appreciate it all until it's all over.
Urban, even at the end of his tenure, was talking about how special his first class of seniors was because it helped him to establish the foundation of what he wanted to accomplish here. I imagine your feelings toward your senior class is similar heading into this weekend?
Yeah, there's no question. And we've been through a lot in the last couple of years, and love these guys with all my heart. And they've become family, and so certainly for those guys who are having their last game in the stadium like that, it is going to be emotional, and they deserve everything that they get in terms of praise and admiration from everybody in Buckeye Nation for what they've done, and it is a special group.
Second row left, Bill.
Ryan, I think you have, if I have the number right, a dozen fifth-year scholarship seniors on this team. Kind of a high number for a place like this. Just how have you seen that dynamic impact your roster this year?
I think the maturity level is off the charts. I just think having grown men in your program, I mean, if they've been in our program for 5 years, they're grown men. And just the approach, they're almost like player coaches. And they know what's right, and they're around the team, and the young guys more than we are. And there's a self-police going on right there, and those guys, mentor the younger guys and want to leave a legacy behind. I've heard that several times from many of the players. So having maturity like that is important, because you can tell guys until you're blue in the face about, if we don't show up this week, here's what can happen. But guys who have been through it before and have those scars, it's a little bit more real.
How much do you and your staff talk with guys about their individual recruiting classes leaving an impact on the program? There's some guys from 2015 whose class started kind of wonky, but they seem to be finishing out the career strong. I just don't know if you measure that at all.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I think that they have relationships they built when they came in together. There's a bond there when you come in as a group, but we don't talk about it all that much. There was a couple moments last spring where we grabbed one of the classes and said, now it's time to grow up. No longer are you freshmen. It's time for you guys to now step up. And so we'll do that, a little bit in the off season, but overall, it's not something we focus on.
Front row right, Austin.
Ryan, what's made KJ's